Hello, in this video I'm going to be taking a look at a couple of new tools from Sonible. The first one is True Balance, which is a sort of tool for analyzing the spectral balance of your mix, and it'll give you feedback and basically tell you if you need to increase a particular area to get it nice and balanced. You can choose different profiles like all of the Sonible stuff. And the second one is True Level, which is more for mastering, for getting the right loudness and the right amount of dynamics. And then you can basically choose your profile of like what streaming platform and what style the mix is in. And then you can hit the level check and that will give you feedback on your master. So first of all, I'm going to take a look at True Balance. It's very similar to another tool that has lived on my Cubase control room for basically as long as I've had it. Tonal balance control is just a really useful way to reference mixes. So you can actually load up your own songs in here. I quite like this bass heavy one because my mixes always tend to come out slightly bass heavy. And this one's more forgiving. But yeah, I've been using this as a reference tool for as long as I've had Ozone, probably since Ozone 8. So True Balance is a very similar type of tool. If I hit play on this mix, you'll be able to see, you'll get an idea. Obviously on True Balance there's a lot more information that's being fed back to me. And if I hit this balance check, it's letting me know that the mix is nice and balanced. As well as that, you've got a mono check. Then you can change the genre. There, for that particular genre, it's telling me to reduce the bass. Sort of drifting in and out of the sweet spot. So overall, really useful feedback there, and I could see myself just having, really, I'll probably just keep both of them on the control room there in Cubase. Okay, so now I'm going to take a look at True Level. So I've got Smart Limit just initialized here, and I'm going to run it on the loudest part of the song, which should be the sort of last chorus. And I'll let it just run on the universal preset and see what sort of a level it can give me. And what you'll see here is that the interface for True Level is like an expanded version of this section of Smart Limit. This I'm not really understanding because it's -1. -1's what it should be, but it's telling me to reduce it by 1 dB. There it's telling me to reduce it by no dB. I guess different streaming platforms have different kind of loudness requirements. Maybe some use -2 rather than -1. But if I check the quality check on Smart Limit, it's telling me that Spotify is going to reduce it by about 3 dB, but it's telling me that the peak limit's fine, but this isn't telling me that it's wrong, so it's a little bit of conflicting information there. Well, what I found is that if I run True Level on the control room, which is where I usually have all my monitoring software, it gives me a completely different readout than if it's on the end of the mix bus. So there it's telling me the peak level's fine, dynamics are fine, but the loudness is too low. So it's peaking at -13.7. I'm a little bit confused about that as well. If I increase well, I can't really do that on the video because it's going to just decimate the audio and deafen people. So for whatever reason, True Level's not working correctly on the Cubase control room, and I'm not really sure why, because the output coming from the stereo output should be being fed through here, and there's nothing in front of it that's going to be changing the level going into it, so unless it's tied to this, but I think the default level of that's -20, so it would be even quieter. No, that's not even having an effect. So I'm kind of mystified about that, about why it's doing that. I'm kind of confused why this is telling me that the peak level is too high, even though it's -1 dB true peak, which should be the standard. So yeah, I'm at the minute slightly confused about True Level. It might be that I've discovered a couple of bugs, or I don't know, maybe I'm just confused about something. But I think if you already have Smart Limit, it contains this section which basically does the same thing as True Level. I would say if you were only going to choose one of them, that True Balance is the more useful, especially if you don't have tonal balance control, because it actually has a few more features that tonal balance control doesn't have. One thing that tonal balance control has that True Balance does not have is the ability to solo the low mids, the high mids, and the highs, which can be really useful. So maybe in an update they can add sort of soloing features there as well. You've got 4 bands in tonal balance control, or only 3 in True Balance. But all in all, a couple of really interesting monitoring plugins. I do think that if you've got Smart Limit, then you probably don't need True Level. And I also think that it's possibly that True Level is a little bit buggy right now. I guess whether or not you buy both will be determined by how good the deal price is on the bundle. But yeah, hopefully you found this video helpful, and I will be back with more videos soon. Cheers.